to my humble and crude beginnings. This is my third attempt, and I've accumulated over 5 hours of recording and re-recording time to create this video for you. The truth is, I could have put this video off again until I felt more confident with my raw attempt. I could have waited until I could afford the best of the best equipment. But the reality of it is, there will never be a right time or a perfect time. There is only now. You have to make it happen, whatever it is you want to do, whether it's to lose weight, start a business, transform your life for the better. You won't get where you're going unless you make a plan and take action. Pardon the kittens upstairs who are running around like crazy little monsters. Hi, and welcome to my blogcast, Ashes to Wings. I'm Courtney Danielle. I'm an internationally published author and illustrator, holistic lifestyle coach, and Reiki practitioner. Today, I want to share with you the 7 things you need to know for starting where you are, right here and right now. So today, in this very first episode, even before I create my blogcast trailer, I want to start here. I want to start where I am right now, and I want to help you start where you are right now too. I want to share with you the 7 things I learned on my journey to be here with you today. So what does it take to start here, to start where you are right now? Well, it takes courage, strength, patience, persistence. You need to be realistic, have direction, and a willingness to do what needs to be done. I know that sometimes we hear that someone basically transformed their life overnight, but I have yet to know anyone who actually achieved that, nor have I been able to make that happen myself. That being said, making the conscious decision to start taking action can and does happen literally overnight. You can wake up one morning and decide you want to do things differently and live your life differently. And you can take action to make that happen. Maybe you have a healthy breakfast and drink twice as much water. That's a success. However, that's not a complete transformation of your life. It's going to take a whole lot more than that. It takes more than one day of applying changes to see change. This is only the beginning of what can be. Let's say you're really pumped up. You've made it 4 days now, but day 5 rolls in and you just feel crappy. Maybe the weather is dreary and the people around you seem more irritable than usual. And as you walk into the break room to fill your water jug, you stop and you breathe in deeply the smell of fresh coffee. And you notice there's a big box of donuts on the table. Now suddenly, your healthy breakfast and increased water habits you were working on get pushed aside. Believe it or not, it's all part of the process. It's a journey. One that can sometimes feel like a roller coaster that no one's really brave enough to ride on, but suddenly find themselves locked into as it starts to leave the platform. I would definitely say that my journey has been more loop-de-loop roller coaster than anything. And I can assure you that while there was moments of calm, there was also a lot of screaming and crying. What I came to discover was this resilience within me that I didn't even know I had. The same resilience is within all of us if your dream is something that you truly desire. I wanted to create a place to help others thrive, to bring them out of their space of surviving. It started simply with some blog posts, but I was so worried that someone was going to come out of the shadows and tear me into little bits. But it never happened. And so I kept going. Next, I wanted to do videos for various reasons. But the thought of being on your screen terrified me. The judgments, the criticizing, the comments, oh my! But here I am. I made it. I said to myself one day a few months back that I was going to finally make it happen. And each week, I pushed myself a little harder to move myself a little closer to my goal. And then finally, it came down to turning on the camera and pressing record. Start here, start now, you can do this. That's what I told myself. Then I took a deep breath and I went for it. Now, 5 hours, 3 outfits, 2 different rooms, and 2 energized kittens running across the floorboards above me, I might just finish this. Now it's your turn. Time to stop dreaming about what might be or could be. It's time to make the decision to start doing, to push your boundaries, to work outside your goals. And the best place to start is here. And the best time to start is now. So here are the 7 things you need to know going forward. Number 1, direction. Which way do you go? Sometimes the direction we think we want to go in isn't the one we want to put our energy into. One possible reason for this is because the direction we want to go in doesn't inspire us enough to work towards it. So instead, we work on something else. You need to consider if the direction you're heading on is what you want or what others want for you. Are you working towards something to make someone else proud or to make yourself proud? Another possible reason is that you've become discouraged in trying to reach your goals because you think you'll never reach it. Let me just remind you that you're not Superman. You cannot leap tall buildings in a single bound. You can jump and jump to reach your goal, but all you're going to do is exhaust yourself. Instead, try breaking it down into smaller chunks, like into flights of stairs, building on top of each other until you find yourself looking down from the 30th floor, amazed at your accomplishment. And you think, that wasn't so hard. Maybe I am Superman. But what if you're unsure of what you want and what direction to go in? Well, chances are you're not completely without a thought or idea. It might just be that you have some limiting beliefs you're carrying around preventing you from going forward with them. In which case, the best thing you can do is start with an idea. Play with it. See what you can do with it. If you like it, keep going. Ask yourself, what else can I do with it? If you don't like it, change directions. Take what you like and head in a different direction. Just pick a direction and start there. It's that simple. And soon, you'll figure out what you want to be doing and where you want to be going. Number 2, willingness. If there is a will, there is a way. I think just about everyone is familiar with that statement. It's a powerful little statement. The truth is, if you don't want to do something, especially on a subconscious level, you won't be able to find a way to make it happen, no matter how hard you try. However, if you want it bad enough, you'll make it a priority and you'll find a way to make it happen. Your goals are yours. The only person you should be competing against is the person you were yesterday. But there is more to this because the only way you accomplish or succeed at something is by making it a priority. It should be the main focus. You can't expect to be a bodybuilder if you keep telling yourself you're going to go out to the garage and start lifting weights, but instead the action you take after work is to sit on the couch and bicep curl chocolate chip cookies. You have to put what is most important on the top of your I want to accomplish list, which means that sometimes you'll have to say no to other requests. And sometimes you're going to have to get creative and smart about making it work into your schedule. Maybe that means getting up earlier to lift weights, then shower and see yourself off to work. It's not a bad plan, and a lot of people use it successfully. Now, you might be thinking to yourself that there's never enough time or that you've run out of time, but time is deceptive. Have you ever stood by a pot of water on the stove waiting for it to come to a boil? Seems like it takes forever. And yet, if you're immersed in something you love doing, 3 hours can feel like only 15 minutes have passed. I can't tell you how many times I have started sketching something in the wee dark hours of the morning, only to finally look up and realize the sun is already fully above the horizon. The point is, there is always plenty of time when we make time. Number 3, patience. U-turns, detours, and dead ends are all part of the process. No one wants to turn back or start over, but it happens. And while it can seem discouraging because we think we've done something wrong and we've wasted our time and resources, I believe it all happens for a reason. You need to look for the lesson you learned or were meant to learn and continue from there. Perhaps it's as simple as changing your perspective to see it as life helping you get back on track, to show you what you need to do to go forward, need to learn to further yourself, or to help you focus in areas you need to grow even more. With many of my projects, I can always tell when I'm heading in the wrong direction because I hit a dead end and I feel like the project isn't good enough, or it just isn't where I thought it would be. Sometimes I have to walk away from it for a while. For example, if you've been keeping up with my blog posts, you know that I'm working on a very special project, the Phoenix cards. I cannot tell you how many times I have hit a wall or trashed images or walked away from it thinking it was never going to happen. And yet something always draws me back to them, and I end up going in a different direction, a better direction. The lesson for me to learn was just because I want it to be this way doesn't mean it will be. I'm a believer that the universe has a way of getting us where we need to be, but sometimes we are so busy fighting the current because we think it's easier, perhaps even shorter, or a quicker route to where we want to be, that we forget that it's about the experience to be had. We need to just relax and feel it out. Go with the flow. Don't resist. Practice patience, and you will get where you're going. Maybe not as fast as you hoped, but the journey and the end result will be well worth it. Number 4, be realistic. Realize that it won't be perfect. Whatever you do and however you do it, accept that it won't be at the level of everyone else. But that's the perfection in it. It shouldn't be. First, because you are going to be you and you're going to do you. You might start out trying to emulate others, but in the end, what will make you succeed is doing it your way and standing out in the crowd. Second, many of them have more practice and training and experience than you, and there's nothing wrong with that. One day you're going to be where they're at, and you will have others looking up to you, striving to do as you do. But you also need to be realistic about the time frame you set for yourself. I know there are a lot of ads out there with claims that you can make 6 figures in 6 months. And the truth is, it is possible, but the percentage of people who are able to do that is very small. Does that mean you shouldn't aim for it? Absolutely not. You can and should believe in the impossible. But you still need to be realistic about whether you can actually achieve it or not. You need to be flexible enough to realize that your time frame might be 7 months or 2 years. You can't let that disappoint or discourage you. I'm sure it will. It does me too. But you need to breathe and get back to work. The more time you spend dwelling on it, the longer it's going to take you to reach your goals. It's like telling your child to clean his room. He spends 3 hours whining about it because he can't do it and it's too much work. And yet, when he finally gives in and does it, it takes him 20 minutes. That's 3 hours lost to him, unable to spend time doing what he wanted to do and loves doing because he was too busy whining instead of just getting it over and done with. As adults, we on occasion do the same thing. We spend time complaining and grumping about our disappointments when we could just accept it as a speed bump and get over it. Number 5, persistence. There is no such thing as failure. If you tried, if you gave it your best, then you didn't fail. There are only lessons learned and experiences gained from each attempt you make. They are a necessary part of success to continually push you harder so you can move closer towards your goals. Failure isn't possible for those who put their whole heart and soul into doing what they do and doing what they love. Are there times when something is a lost cause? Yes, but only you can determine that. Like I said, I thought my Phoenix cards were a lost cause many times. I didn't dwell on it. I just pushed them aside and kept going. I wasn't ready to give up on them, even though I said I did. They were an important part of me. But there are other projects I have come to realize I don't have any heart and soul for. And so when I hit a dead end with them, I buried them and moved on. Now, I say moved on like it's as simple as snapping your fingers, but it's not. Sometimes it can take me a week or more of fussing with it, contemplating whether I should or shouldn't continue with it. I try to work it out, overthink it, twist it this way and that, until I make a decision. Then I move on in one direction or another. Persistence is also about being able to pick yourself up again and again, because you will fall, things will fail, problems will occur, things will happen out of your control. But if it's something that is important to you, you need to persist. Pull yourself together. Dust off your ass and start over. Start where you're at. Just start again. You can't avoid problems and issues and obstacles or the challenges that come your way. They are there to make you stronger and push you further. Number 6, strength. To do what needs to be done. Strength isn't just having muscular arms. There's also a mental strength or having emotional resilience. It's the ability to overcome challenges and obstacles that life throws your way. It is working through and past the things you don't want to do, don't want to face or accept, so you can move on. It's finding a way to make things happen. It's being mentally disciplined, learning self-control, and developing healthy habits. Learning self-control is being able to manage your impulsive behaviors and keeping your emotions in check. It takes self-control to lose weight, to be consciously aware of what you're eating, how you're eating, and why you're eating. But eating isn't the only place we need to learn self-control. Impulsive behaviors are your quick reactions to situations. You react rather than respond to situations. The difference is when you react to a situation, you think something through before you take action. When you respond to a situation, you do so with emotion. You're quick to make a judgment, a decision, or to take action. Doing so usually has negative consequences for the circumstance. You and you alone are responsible for your behaviors, no one else. Someone's actions didn't make you angry. You chose to react to their action with emotions by being angry. You could have taken a deep breath, thought through the situation to see if they even deserve a response. Sometimes they don't. Just walk away and focus on your goals. Keeping your emotions in check doesn't mean holding in anger and frustration, but learning how to effectively release emotions so you can move forward. If you're an emotional eater, like myself, you're familiar with this one and how hard it can be to find effective ways to process things so that you can effectively let them go, instead of filling your face with food in an attempt to feel better. Which, even if we know this is counterproductive, we still do it. We do it because we do not have the necessary coping skills and emotional resilience to overcome the issues we can't or don't know how to deal with. While at this time, I cannot provide you with a surefire way of resolving emotional eating, I can say that staying aware, being aware of your eating habits, knowing if you're eating for fullness or stress, it's a start. Learning and practicing various coping skills will strengthen your ability to handle stressful situations with less eating and more focus on your goals. Developing healthy habits is also essential. That means creating habits that you can live with, that support your well-being and the person you're becoming. Healthy habits can be created by swapping an old habit for a new habit. If your old habit was to take the elevator up to the 3rd floor, maybe your new habit would be to take the stairs instead. New habits can be created by setting cues, which means attaching a new habit to another habit. If you already have a habit of feeding the cat at 5 p.m. every day, you might attach taking your vitamins at the same time. If you set them near the cat food, you'll remember, be cued, to take them when you feed them at 5. And finally, another way you can create healthy habits is to prepare. If you're going to work out in the mornings before work, try setting out your gym outfit so that it's not only accessible, but it's also noticeable. Developing healthy habits isn't done in a week or a day. For many people, even a month may not be enough time to really ingrain it into you so that nothing else exists to fall back on. In my opinion, it takes a good 3 months of focus and dedication for a new habit to become your everyday habit. And finally, number 7, courage against vulnerability. Nothing ever happens worth happening if you stay in the same place, if you stay in your safe zone, inside your cozy little box. If you want to pursue your passion, what you're passionate about, you're going to have to take chances, take risks, fall on your face, have your box, your world squished. Passion that never goes beyond your comfort zone is not passion. It's a hobby. Step outside yourself. Open yourself up to opportunities and achievements, and you'll be glad you did. I have learned how to make time for my writing and sketching. Despite my multiple attempts in the past years, I didn't give up. However, I got up and did it differently each time. My passion for helping people become their better selves and live the life they desire, that's what makes me want to get out of bed every morning. Every day is another day to practice my skills and train myself to do better and gain the experience I need to keep going forward. That includes being vulnerable. Even just being on the other side of this screen, I feel vulnerable. But at the same time, I feel empowered. I did it, and I'm going to do it again and again. Not until I get it right, but until I can't get it wrong. Starting here, right now, think about what you are passionate about. Is there a goal you want to pursue, or is it just wishful thinking? What is something you can do today to take a step forward? What has you feeling vulnerable or feels too risky that you haven't even considered? I'm not asking you to quit your job or take yourself to the extremes. I'm asking you to think it out, write it out, make a plan, and take action every day or every weekend. Instead of thinking the weekends as an escape for the work week, think of them with excitement as you move yourself closer to something better. In addition, create a I want to accomplish list or a bucket list. List out the top 10 things you want to achieve in the next 5 years and start making it happen. Remember, following your dreams and what you're passionate about doesn't magically happen overnight. There will always be more to learn and experience. You might stay on the same path. You might decide to jump the tracks and head for a different path. And that's okay too. Just keep going. Discover more about yourself and what really makes your soul sing hallelujah. And then go for it. Start where you are at the very moment you tell yourself, I love this. Take that first vulnerable and shaky step and you'll be one day closer to your dreams than you were the day before. If I can do it, you can do it too. I believe in you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this introductory video. Please take a moment to like, share, comment, subscribe. There is an August 9, 2023 blog post available for this blogcast, as are additional posts and videos, which can all be found on my webblog, Courtney-Danielle.com. So until next time, talk to you later.